Okay, we have some shapes on our screen, and this is great. One thing that I want you to be aware of is as I'm modeling this, I have some parameters that I can adjust in my scene. This last box that I did, I drew it out. But while I'm working on it, I can do some different things on my scene here. Let's say I want to make this 6 by 6 is fine, so that's 0.6 meters. But let's say I want to make it a cube and I want to make it that tall. I can go over here and I can put my cursor, and I'd like you to try this before you click off of it. If you clicked off of it, don't worry. I'll show you how to fix it in a second. I'm going to make it the same height, so it's a cube, and I click there, and now it changed into this cube shape. Okay. Problem with that is now it blocks my scene. Let's say I want to go and I want to change this one in the back. That we can't see anymore, and I want to make that 6 tall. Okay, one thing I want to make you aware of is so we need to be able to adjust this back box. One thing before we do it, let's go and get in the habit of saving often. So I'm going to go to File, Save, and then I save those changes and I don't lose my box. So I can go into this back box here and I can click on this box, but the problem is it's going to want to draw a new box. I'm still in this box tool, so I'm not going to do that yet. We want to change this from, we are in the Create tab here, right? And this is how we add more shapes into our scene, and we know that because it's doing the plus. What if I want to change what's already in my scene? If I go over to the next one, I just hover, it's going to tell me this is the Modify tab. So I can change anything that's in my scene by clicking on this button here. Okay, when I'm in the Modify tab, it's going to let me modify anything that's highlighted in my scene. Right now, this front box is clicked. I want to click on this back box and click on there. Now you can see it's giving me the highlight around there, and it's also giving me the size. We made this 3 by 3. Let's make them all the same height. So I'm going to change this from 0.3. If I click and drag on this arrow here, I can go up and down, and it will visually make that taller. It's not going to be very precise, so I'm just going to type in I'm going to type in here, highlight the whole thing, and type in 0.6, and then that's 0.6. Now I can see these in this window, but all of this is a little bit hard to work with. So let's say I want to do all my modeling in this window and have it enlarged so that I can see. In order to do that, I'm going to go in and if we remember in our initial startup, it gave us these controls. This will let us control the camera and the viewport display here. We've already explored the command panel a little bit. So let's go and change our control panel and our viewport display by clicking on those menus. Each one of these boxes has that. If I just click on this plus, it's going to give me the option of maximizing this viewport. Okay. What I want you to do is I want you to swing this viewport around. We have a couple ways of doing that here. If we go down on this navigate panel, okay, this is going to let me pan it, so I can grab my pan tool and slide it. Okay, and then I have some other options here. I can swing things around with my orbit tool, and that lets me rotate things. So I can use my navigation panel. Let's say I zoom in, I get really zoomed in and zoomed out weird, and I lose my workspace. This is going to be really helpful. Come down here and click on Zoom to Extent. That's this one right here. Shows the box inside of the window, and that's going to recenter your selection in the window here. We also have this gizmo here where we can rotate, and you can swing your scene this way. And we can also, I'm going to shut this orbit tool off here. Let me go back and click on my pan tool. I'll slide this over, and I want to, if I want to get out of there, I can hit escape on my keyboard, and that will deselect my pan tool. Now that I have my view selected here, I'm going to change my parameters here. This one I'm going to make 0.6 as well. 0.6, enter. Okay, and I want to swing this around. So I'm going to grab my rotation tool here, and I have my compass rose on here, and I can rotate my mouse around. I click on my last box, and we're going to change this one to a height of 0.6. Okay, let's do that. I want to do that, remember, manually. We do that. We click on the shape. We go to our Modify tab, and that lets us have access to change the original modification of the shapes that we have in our scene. So that's going to be a wrap for this video. So make sure you go back to File, Save, and we will see in the next one when we add a couple more things to our scene. Thanks for joining me, and keep on designing.